Earlier we would never say Ciaz diesel and polished in the same breath. But with the arrival of the brand new 1.5 litre diesel engine, the interesting mix of refinement and usable performance got us excited. So excited that we brought along two of its main rivals, the Hyundai Verna and the Honda City. So let's get cracking. Let's start with their engines because that's the reason why we have got these cars together in the first place. The Verna has the biggest engine and also the power figure at 126 PS is the best in its segment. Moving to the City, its 1.5 litre cast aluminium engine makes 100 PS of power. Then there's the Ciaz that also has a cast aluminium 1.5 litre engine that makes the least amount of power, but it is by far the lightest amongst the three. We will start off with the oldest car in the bunch, which is the Honda City. So as I mentioned, the Honda City is the oldest amongst the three, and also this diesel engine doesn't feel that great. It's noisy, even when you rev it hard, it's got decent amount of punch, but it keeps getting really noisy and it's got a sharp clatter. And then there's the turbo lag, which is the worst amongst the three. So you have to keep shifting the gearbox. Also the fact that it has short gearing means that you end up shifting a lot more than in the other two cars. So be it at low speeds or out on the highway, the Honda City is not as good as the other two cars. The Verna's 1.6 litre engine has always been a benchmark in the segment, be in terms of power or refinement. It pulls really well post 1500 RPM, and even below that, when there's turbo lag, it doesn't feel dead. And then it's the way this engine revs all the way to its red line, so it's good fun to drive out on the highway. In terms of city driving, the Verna could have been better. For example, the clutch is on the heavier side, so which is not the best when you're driving at stop-go traffic. And then there's the way the turbo kicks in, which is a little abrupt, which makes progress a little jerky. Now the Verna's engine is refined, but this car is even better. This is despite having an aluminum engine block. And then there's the power delivery, which is very linear. So even when it's off boost, when the turbo comes on, you don't get a jerk, which gives you a very smooth driving experience. And then there's the clutch, which is light, which makes it the easiest car to drive in the city. Even on the highway, this car has more than enough power. For overtaking, it's got good punch. The engine is free revving as well. So be it in the city or on the highway, this car feels at home. Sure, it doesn't have the outright punch of the Verna, so you do have to change more gears out on the highway, but still, it's not a big problem. Even when it comes to fuel efficiency, the easy-to-drive Ciaz returned a best-in-class 19.49 kmpl as compared to the Honda City's 18.48 and Hyundai Verna's 18.05 figure. Out on the highway, it's the Honda City that registered the best efficiency figures. It returned an impressive 24.19 kmpl, while the Verna was a surprise close second at 23.38 kmpl. The Ciaz, on the other hand, came in third with a figure of 22.43 kmpl. Where the engine is impressive, the rear seat is even better. Just look at the amount of space I have now. I have Arun sitting in front of me who is 5'10" tall. I can just stretch out and relax in this car. Obviously, it's not perfect. For example, it could have done with a bit more under-thigh support, and also headroom is a little bit less. And the backrest angle could have been a bit more relaxed. And even in terms of ride, this car, it's got a nice soft edge to it. There's some up and down motion at higher speeds, but it never gets uncomfortable. And if you want a comfortable car, then the Ciaz is the best amongst the three. In terms of rear seat space, in the Verna, it's clearly less than the Ciaz in terms of knee room, width and headroom. But on its own, it's quite good. You sit at a good height, the backrest has a good recline, and even the under-thigh support is enough. The squat could have been a little longer, but overall in terms of ride and rear seat experience, the Ciaz does a better job. In the Honda City, it's all about the rear seat experience. The seat cushioning is soft and cushy. The backrest is set at a good angle and the floor has a slope which forms a natural footrest to rest your feet comfortably. But on the flip side, the ride quality on the Honda City, it's really stiff. You can feel even small imperfections on the road, and over sharper stuff you tend to get thrown around. So on the whole, the Honda City should have had a more comfortable ride, which would have made it a perfect chauffeur-driven car. But when it comes to handling, the Honda City, thanks to its direct steering and stiff suspension setup, is the most fun. The Verna comes a close second, but it has a bit more body roll and the steering weight isn't as consistent as in the Honda. The Ciaz, on the other hand, doesn't like to be driven too enthusiastically. The soft suspension means it doesn't feel as agile as the other two, and even the numb steering doesn't encourage you to push the car hard. With the driving done, let's talk quickly how these cars fare when it comes to design, features and practicality. With each costing almost Rs 15 lakh, these cars need to make a statement, and it's safe to say all of them live up to that expectation. The Honda City, especially with its arrow shot design, sleek full LED headlamps and 16-inch wheels, looks sporty. The Hyundai, meanwhile, has taken the coupe route in terms of styling. The sloping roofline, the raised rump and the XL size projector headlamps with underlining DRLs makes the Verna look distinctive. And the Ciaz kinda looks understated in this company. The design is a whole lot more somber. We think it's got the best looking alloy wheels here, and there's some more bling to be had with the full LED projector headlamps. But when you get down to comparing features, the Ciaz's arsenal seems a bit empty. And that's because it doesn't have the all-important sunroof or the even more important side and curtain airbags. Compare it to the Verna and you are missing out on bits like ventilated seats, wireless charging and the hands-free tailgate release as well. But let's bring in the price here. Ciaz's Alpha variant is cheaper compared to the City's V variant and Verna's SX. And in those variants, neither the Honda or the Hyundai offer these wow features. So you could say they are pretty evenly matched. In all three, the basics including automatic climate control, rear aircon vents, cruise control and touchscreen infotainment system are taken care of. Basic safety kit includes dual airbags and ABS with EBD. But we would still say Maruti Suzuki needs to up its safety game with the Ciaz. A variant above the Alpha with side and curtain airbags and tech like ESP and traction control would have been good to have. When it comes to interior quality, the Verna is the most consistent, closely followed by the Maruti Ciaz, which after the recent facelift feels surprisingly premium on the inside. The Honda City doesn't fare as well, as the plastics and fit and finish isn't as good as in the other two. In terms of boot space, the City and the Ciaz at 510 litres are way ahead of the much smaller 465 litre capacity of the Verna. Even the loading lip in the Hyundai is quite high, which makes loading big bags difficult. Let's start with the Honda first. The City has been a benchmark for long, and even now when it comes to space, comfort, equipment and fuel efficiency, it is still competitive. But other than that, be it the engine refinement, performance, fit and finish, it isn't as good as the other two. The fact that there's a new car coming soon, and also it is by far the most expensive of the three, marks it down further. So that leaves us with the Hyundai Verna and the Maruti Ciaz. It's a close battle between the two as they have their own set of strengths. Starting with the Verna, it has a lot of feel-good factor thanks to the well-finished interior and it's loaded with features. The fact that the engine performance is really strong gives it a fun-to-drive character. The Ciaz, on the other hand, misses out on some important features like a sunroof and also on safety equipment like side and curtain airbags and ESP, which can be a deal breaker for some. But other than that, as compared to the Verna, the Ciaz offers a more refined engine, a better ride quality, and the fact that the Ciaz is much more affordable gives the Maruti the edge over the Hyundai.